We can't wait for Super Mario Maker 2. So much so that we even flew to New York last week just to go hands-on with it for an hour. And now that we're back, it's time to tell you all about it. Now we're going to keep things pretty short in this video, but if you want even more, make sure to check out our full in-depth discussion about our hands-on time with the game. You can find a link to it at the end of this video. But for now, here are the 10 biggest new details we learned about Super Mario Maker 2. Okay, so let's get the bad news out of the way first. There is no Amiibo support in Super Mario Maker 2. Which also means that Mystery Mushroom costumes are gone too. Yeah, we asked a Nintendo rep to make sure. So it seems the focus this time around is on the 4 playable characters and their various appearances throughout the different game styles. And speaking of things that are missing... you probably thought some more bad news was coming. Nope, this is actually a good thing, as Nintendo told us that the annoying time-based unlocking process from the original game is now a thing of the past, and that instead, almost everything is unlocked from the very start. Although they did reiterate almost everything. So what else could they be hiding? So all 4 playable characters in Super Mario Maker 2, being Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Toadette, are all functionally identical. As in, they handle the exact same, and only differ by appearance, which not only ensures that no one has an unfair advantage in multiplayer, but also guarantees that every player can finish every course. Which is important because you get to choose who you play as when playing other people's levels, which you can choose on the settings screen. Yep, it doesn't matter whether a level's creator designed their stage with multiplayer in mind or not, as every stage, whether you create it yourself or download it online, can be played with multiple people. Now, they may not all play well with multiple people, but hey, at least the option's there. And if you do find yourself playing with multiple people locally on the same system, Nintendo confirmed that you can play Super Mario Maker 2 using whatever combination of controllers you want. Whether it be Joy-Cons or Pro Controllers, it's all fair game. Furthermore, you can adjust the controls on the settings screen if they're not quite to your liking. And you might be happy to know that when using the editor while docked, the control pad will allow you to quickly access any of the toolbars simply by pressing it in that direction, which is pretty handy. Ever since the Mario Maker Direct, we've been stoked for the story mode. The idea of playing more than 100 Nintendo-built courses to earn coins and fund the rebuild of Princess Peach's castle seems like a pretty fun gameplay loop. But there's even more going on here than the Direct lets on. At the preview event, Nintendo told us that the story mode is more open-ended than you might expect, as it changes depending on your choices and actions, which affects how the story unfolds, as well as which batches of levels become available to you. We saw a glimpse of the choices available ourselves when we were offered to choose which part of the castle to build next, whether the West Hall, Main Hall, or East Hall, each at a slightly different cost. Although we sadly couldn't afford any of them. And on that topic, we learned that while you can replay stages, you won't be able to earn the completion award more than once. Although you can't keep any coins to collect along the way. Finally, we discover that you are in fact able to freely explore the castle grounds between jobs, as you have full 3D control over Mario, including running and jumping. There are also a variety of NPCs to talk to, with different ones coming and going even during our short playtime. With this many tools and objects at your disposal, it can all be a bit overwhelming. Which is why it's a very good thing that the master course-making pigeon, Yamamura, is back to get anyone and everyone up to speed with a series of optional tutorials. And he won't just teach you how to use the various tools and parts, but he'll even delve into some game theory topics, such as how to make a high-quality course, including how to ensure that it's actually fun to play. In addition, with so many styles in the game, there's now a section that lays out exactly what you can do in each one. Nice! The music that plays while editing in the 3D World style is really, really good. And that's really all I have to say about it. So if you want to hear even more, make sure to check out our gameplay video for a lot more of where that came from. So while we didn't have a lot of time with the editor itself, between it and some of the pre-built stages we played, we did pick up on a few new interesting details in regards to the game's objects. For one, while we knew that the moon could cause winds to blow through a desert course, we didn't realize that those winds actually vary in direction and intensity, so you'll want to be on your toes, if you're not being blown off of them. Next, while we noted in our recent analysis that the checkpoint flag didn't award any kind of power-ups when touched, one of the pre-built levels in the game did. It gave us a star. So it seems checkpoints might be customizable to award different items, instead of just a super mushroom as in the original game. Finally, we had a lot of fun playing around with the new Koopa card item. Or should I say items? Because we plopped down a couple of them and quickly discovered two things. One, Koopas aren't very good drivers. And that leads us to point 2 being, their carts will break apart after just a few collisions with each other, and presumably other things as well. But here's something neat. As part of that, sometimes random objects will pop out of the trunk as a car breaks apart, such as a baseball or a beach pail. Aw, this is almost getting a little too real now, and I kinda feel bad for those poor Koopas. Meowser has to be one of the coolest things about the 3D world style. And going in, we already knew they could jump around, spit fire, and even grab onto platforms to pull himself up. But nothing prepared us for what we saw next, where a winged Meowser flew into the background to spit fire at us from a distance. Whoa! Pretty cool trick there, Bowser, which is also pretty fitting for a style based around the idea of 3D. Now, our friends at US Gamer also discovered that, in Meowser's more grounded form, he can drop off the level entirely, and then jump around from the abyss while shooting fireballs at you. Yeah, that Meowser's a real menace. Oh, and since we just got done talking about the Koopa Troopa car, in case you're wondering if you can shove Meowser into the car, well, we tried. And unless there's something we missed, the dude just didn't want to go inside it. Yeah, it looks like our hopes of recreating Super Mario 3D World's first Bowser fight are dashed. Yep, even though we've just covered 10 of the biggest things we learned about Super Mario Maker 2, there are still some things left that we can't talk about quite yet. And we're not sure when we'll be able to either. But needless to say, we are super hyped for this game. But if you want to hear even more from us, make sure to check out our in-depth preview in which we discuss how the game feels among many other things, as well as checking out our gameplay video from the course creator. And with that, thanks for watching, and make sure to click that subscribe button for more on Super Mario Maker 2 and everything else Nintendo Switch. We'll catch you later, bye.